Okay, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you another interactive command in console.gh package, and that is console.gh find file. This is useful for jumping directly into seeing files when you know the repository or repositories you are interested in. So let me just do meta x console.gh find file. And you have to enter the name of the repository in this format, user-repo. So let's do minad consult. And then it asks you for a branch to select. So I'm going to select main branch. And I get a list of all files in that repository. Note that it's right now, the UI shows you every file in the repository without folders. So this is useful if you want to quickly search through every file in this repository. So let's open README. And you can see when I search in the mini buffer, it narrows down the options. And if I enter, it jumps in the browser and pulls that specific file in the browser. Okay, now let me go back. Now, similar to what we said for repositories, you can also change the default action for files. So let me go in this buffer. So there is this variable console.gh file action. And if we look at that variable, by default, it is set to console.gh files browse URL action, which is what we just saw. It opens the URL in external browser. But I can change that, for example, to this function, console.gh files view action, which is provided by default in the console.gh package. So now if I do console.gh find file and minad vertical, let's select main branch, and now I see all the files. Note that when there is a folder in the repository, you will see it in this format, extensions dash files. If there is more folders, every file gets listed in this menu with their path. So let's say I want to open this one, vertico.el. When I enter, now you can see that instead of opening it in the browser, I opened it in an Emacs buffer. It's in the right major mode for an ellipse function, a .el function. I can start even editing this file if I want, define some test variable. And then I can save this. Just to give you an understanding of what happens here, this file right now that I'm looking at is saved in the system default temporary directory, which is on there. Let's see, default temp temp temporary file directory. So this is where Emacs is saving those files that you temporarily load to look in preview buffers. And if you want, you can just save this file anywhere you want on your local machine. Now let's go back to, not dashboard. Let's go back here. There is another default action provided in the package, and that's save file action. So if I run this code now and do again console.gh find file, minad vertical main, let's open README. Now it's asking me where I want to save this file. Downloads/readme.org sounds good. There is a file with that name already, so let me cancel and go back. Maybe we save it somewhere else, just because I don't want to overwrite whatever I have in that folder. So let me put it in another path here. Yes. Okay. So now if I go back to the path I just used, you can see that there is a readme.org file that got saved. And if I open it, it's the Vertigo readme that we just saved. So depending on your workflow, if it's more useful to save files, you can change the default action to save files. If you want to look at it in a buffer inside Emacs, you can use the view action uh, that I showed here, or the default action that is browse URL action that jumps into an external browser. That's all I have for files here. Note that everything we showed in other videos for repositories applies here. For example, you can use Embark integration to run alternative actions. So you can set the default action to whatever is more frequently used in your workflow. In my case, this is viewing files in Emacs buffers. And then if you want to save some file, you can run that through Embark integration for alternative actions.